Sorry about the noise outside. There's guys outside working, and so sorry. Hopefully I can reduce the background noise in editing. I'm making this video because I feel like I just can't take it anymore. Like, I have to talk about my mother. And I guess the reason why I'm doing this is because in a way it's like therapy. And I'm hoping that I am not alone. I am hoping that for the love of God, there's somebody else out there that can understand what, I guess, what I'm going through, but more so just can understand where I'm coming from. I'm not really looking for any answers. Honestly, I'm actually going to start therapy. I already see a therapist for other issues, and she said that she thinks I need to see a different therapist for like family issues because of all the issues I have from my mom. So I'm gonna, in no particular order other than the notes I took, kind of dive into why I feel like I'm going to snap and lose my mind. My mom is not a nice person. I was kind of scrolling on Google and I just happened to type in, I have to constantly entertain my mother. And that's exactly what I put in the search engine, like just this crazy thing. And I came across Reddit, and it was something like narcissism, raised by narcissists, I think, and something about BPD, which I didn't know what that meant. And I still don't know. I don't know if that's bipolar disorder or borderline personality disorder. I'm not really sure. A lot of what people were saying kind of sounded like my mom, but I really don't know. Like I said, I'm not looking for answers. Maybe you can just sympathize with me a little bit, or maybe you don't. Maybe you can't get it at all. But so the situation right now, before going into like my childhood, as of right now, my mom is, I think she's 55 or 56. I can't remember. And yes, she had me at a very young age. I am the oldest of 4 children, and she lives in Mojave Valley by herself, which was not planned, to be perfectly honest. So how that happened was, it's been years now, probably about 8 years ago, 8 or 9, because my daughter was just born. My parents just up and decided to move to Mojave Valley because they love I think it's the Colorado River that runs through there. Left all of us kids behind. We all live in Vegas, and they just left us. They love the river so much they just wanted to live next to it. Okay, fair enough. I figured, because my mom had always said that she wants lots of grandchildren, and I'll be there to help you. I promise you'll never have to worry about needing help, all this. I had asked her to help me with my daughter, I think twice before. I never asked again. One of the times had my daughter for the night. She ended up calling me at like 4 a.m. to come get her because she was like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm not a mommy anymore. I don't need to do this. And I felt like going, well, you wanted her to stay the night. Like, okay, whatever. The only other time I ever asked for help after being told that I will literally help you whenever you need it, we're just down the street, was one time when me and my husband got incredibly sick with the flu. My daughter was probably just over a year old. And my mom said, no, I won't take her. I won't come over and help because I don't want to get sick. So this is completely going against what I was told. And it's not like I'm asking for help, like so we can go party or go out to dinner or whatever. No, I had a daughter because I wanted one. We take her everywhere with us. I'm asking for you to come help me because I'm too sick to take care of my daughter right now. And my husband is too. We are very sick. My mom and honestly my in-laws, both of them said no, they didn't want to get sick. So when my parents moved, I did feel a little bit like, okay, well, I guess so much for we'll be there to help you whenever you need it. Not that they helped anyway. They moved about 2.5 hours away from where we live. And to be honest, I was really happy because I've never really gotten along with my mom. She thinks we have in her head, like I'm her favorite child. But in my head, I've always said, I love her as my mother, but I do not like her as a person. If she wasn't my mom, I wouldn't have anything to do with her. We are two completely different people. She's incredibly hateful. She's incredibly spoiled. She's very judgmental. And I'll get into all that. And now, 10 years later, me and my husband, we're just fine. Our marriage is really good. We're doing really well. I'm really happy. My mom, on the other hand, after moving out there, my littlest sister, my baby sister, because I'm the oldest, so I have my younger sister, who is the 25-year-old, and then my baby sister, who is the 23 or 24-year-old. My baby sister was actually living with my mom and alone out in Mojave Valley. So the issue with that is after they moved out there, my dad started to work out of state. My lips are so dry. He's a carpenter / finisher. And so there was no more work in Vegas basically for the company he works with. So now he has started working on like the West Coast. He'll work in California, Oregon, Washington, all that kind of stuff is where the work is. So now my dad does not live at home anymore. So he'll come home like I think once every month or maybe once every like month and a half for like the weekend. He also gets all of the holidays off and all that kind of stuff. So my baby sister was living with my mom when this happened. While my sister was living with her, she began to get insane anxiety, panic attacks. She felt trapped and alone. And my mom would pressure her to not leave because now, which my mom didn't expect, she would be alone. Well, my sister is a young woman and she turned 20 and was finally like, Mom, I don't want to live here anymore. So she moved in with my sister in Montana and they're both up there now. So my mom lives by herself out there. And trust me, when you're done hearing this, you're not going to feel sorry for her because honestly, I don't feel sorry for her one bit. Because of this, now my mom is incredibly dependent on me. My mom constantly needs attention all the time. And no matter how much you give her, it's never enough. She text messages throughout the day. We have a group chat. Boom, boom, boom. All day long, she just texts and it's nothing. It's about nothing. It's, oh, I just made an omelet. Oh, look, I'm watching Young Sheldon. I read the Bible. So she just like tells us what she's doing all throughout the day. Now, you might be hearing this and going, what's the big deal? It's not a big deal, right? The issue is she expects to be answered every time she messages. She messages more than any of us because all the rest of us, we are all working. We all have lives. My baby sister, she's a tattoo artist. She works constantly. My dad, who is the carpenter, who is, paying for my mom to be able to sit around on her ass all day long, is out working. He works like 6 days a week, long hours from like 3 a.m. until like 5 p.m. Okay. So he's working all day. I work as well. I actually have 2 jobs. I work, third shift and then I come home and I work some more. Not to mention I am like right in the throes of like parenthood right now. My daughter's 10. She's got a lot of after school activities. We're trying to get her into a really prestigious magnet school. So me and my husband were like full on parents right now. Like there's no wiggle room really for anything. My other sister, she's engaged and she works all day too. She's a hairstylist. Her husband, he works. All of us work. My mom does not. And she doesn't work because it's her choice. She doesn't have to work because my dad pays for everything. And that's what she expects. My dad wouldn't be allowed to quit because she can't work. She's not going back to work. She's too good for that. So if we don't answer her text messages right away, she gets furious. She gets so mad and she'll be like, where is everyone? And I feel like going, where the fuck do you think we are? We're at work. My daughter, she's in school. What do you think we are? You know where we are. And we have to like respond back and stroke her ego. It can't just be a message either that's like, let's say my mom works out. She'll always send a picture of herself all sweaty and like gross looking and she'll send it. You can't just be like, oh, hi, or oh, cool. You have to be like, oh my gosh, Mom, you're so amazing. Look at you go. Like, you're so good. Oh man. You have to like really, really stroke her ego big time or she gets really angry. And like I said, if you don't text back, she gets super, super mad. And even not too long ago, she was like, it must be so nice to, have families and all this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, what is her problem? And yeah, I know I dropped an F-bomb earlier. I swear a lot, just so you know. because I'm the closest to her, and by closest, I mean 2.5 hours drive away, I am expected to always provide her entertainment now. She expects, like, every 2 weeks to be able to come out to my house, and she expects every 2 weeks after that for me to go to hers. So she expects, like, at least once a month, I set aside time for her. And again, like I said, you might be listening to this going, why are you being such an asshole? Well, that's because my mom is an asshole. She's just not a nice person.